Thanks for watching CBS 8 Plus and welcome to this Throwback Special. I'm Carlo Cicchetto. In our more than 70 years of broadcasting, we have seen San Diego transform, marking big changes all along the way. But some of the changes have been as gradual as the weather reshaping the cliffs and sands along our coast. In this Throwback Special, we dive into the CBS 8 archives and hang out at some of our amazing beaches. We start in La Jolla, which many consider to be the jewel of San Diego. And as CBS 8's Steve Price shows us, it's got everything from prime real estate to a cornerstone of UC San Diego.
La Jolla, it means the jewel.
This story ran on News 8 more than 40 years ago, but still rings true today.
La Jolla is the good life. Shopping or eating along Prospect Avenue, swimming, surfing, or just sunning on any one of local beaches.
La Jolla is still known for its world-class beaches and upscale vibe, but it's also a compelling mix of new and old.
We're standing in front of Wisteria Cottage. This is a home that was built in 1904.
Lauren Lockhart is the La Jolla Historical Society's executive director. Their facilities are in 3 cottages, each of them more than 100 years old.
This is Girard Avenue. In the early days, you can see the street wasn't paved.
Carol Olton works in one of the cottages as their historian.
That building was built in about 1928.
She's talking about this building on the corner of Prospect and Girard, now a rug store, but originally a bank.
This is the Villa Waldo.
Built in 1894, Villa Waldo now sits on Drury Lane because in La Jolla they thought it sounded better to call alleys lanes. Also built in 1894, the building that houses the popular Brockton Villa restaurant.
La Jolla has changed drastically, of course.
Carol moved to La Jolla in 1965, just a few years after UC San Diego opened. She says that had a profound impact on La Jolla's history.
With the coming of the university, I mean, we got all the intellectual people, the town and gown people, and that changed the community and changed the community, I think, for the better.
The one downside, traffic.
For daily commuters on Ardith Road, this scene needs no description.
As this News 8 story from 1985 shows, getting in and out of La Jolla has been brutal for decades, but not frustrating enough to stop people from enjoying its beaches.
In the afternoon, people have a little bit too much to drink sometimes. The music gets loud, the kids get lost, the sand gets hot, people get tired.
La Jolla Shores is still the area's most popular beach, but Wind and Sea's Shack arguably has the best history. Originally built in 1946 by surfers who wanted a shady spot for their kids to hang out. Soon it became party central with legendary luau's.
A great place to sit with your family in the shade and watch people surf Wind and Sea.
Storms have knocked it down several times, but the surfers keep rebuilding it. Now it's officially a historical landmark, guaranteeing it'll be here for generations to come. You know that saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same? Well, here in La Jolla, that's Harry's Coffee Shop. It's been in the same spot for more than 60 years, and it definitely hasn't changed much since the Unknown Eater visited in 1987.
This place is a vision right out of my childhood.
From the long counter on one side to the classic booths on the other, Harry's is exactly the same. Great service and filling food.
Started with the super omelet, stuffed with ham, onions, salsa, and cheese, as good as it was huge. Mrs. Eater was more conventional and ordered the strawberry pancakes. Eater Jr. was along with us on this day and had the child's plate of French toast. Our meal for 3 ran us $17.
More than 30 years later, you can still get that exact same breakfast here at Harry's, including the fresh strawberry pancakes, but the Unknown Eater's bill today would be double, $34.
High atop La Jolla Mesa Drive with what many consider to be the most beautiful view in California.
Of course, the one area where prices have really gone up in La Jolla is housing. In 1979, Janet Zappala did a story on Ocean View lot selling for a then outrageous price of $300,000.
It's really what dreams are made of. But when you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for a lot like this, you'd think you get a house to go along with it.
This was priced at $380,000.
Realtor Maxine Gellens was also selling Ocean View lots around that time. The lot we're standing on was later split in half. So what's half a lot selling for these days?
We sold it this year in August for $5.1 million, all cash.
And that seems like a bargain when you consider this property. Maxine sold the lot in 1980 for $380,000. In July, she sold the lot with this house on it for $10.3 million. Maxine says the market has never been hotter because buyers appreciate that the area has everything.
I don't have to go out of La Jolla to do anything, whether it be my hair, whether it be groceries, whether it be a doctor, a dentist, everything is here. And the view.
La Jolla, a jewel, then and now. Steve Price, News 8.
And those prices are still going up. Up next, Solana Beach. From soft sand to spectacular sunsets, the charming seaside community is nestled along the north coast of San Diego. It's home to businesses that have been around for decades. And as CBS 8's Regina Ahn shows us, it's also known as Southern California's friendliest beach town.
Solana Beach, known as a hidden gem or a little slice of heaven on earth. Mayor Lisa Huebner moved to Solana Beach in 1976 and hasn't left.
You said you're so proud to show off your town. Can you talk about that again and where that love comes from?
Well, yeah, I am so proud to show off Solana Beach because Solana Beach it really is a great place to live. There's hardly any small beach towns left anymore that really have that same beach vibe to them existing still to this day.
And as we take a look back to 1987, then reporter Connie Healy.
This is what attracts most of us to Solana Beach, one of the most beautiful stretches of beaches in the county. It's what's attracted some of the people who live here. That and a little village that rarely changes. It just gets better.
And fast forward 30 years, and this stretch of beach still beautiful as ever, but there have been many improvements and upgrades to this quiet beach town. So just a quick cruise from the beach, you'll be here at Cedros Avenue, also known as downtown, and what was once all industrial has now turned into family-owned boutiques and mom-and-pop restaurants. Like the iconic Belly Up Tavern. And what you see now, a bit different from the 80s.
$1 million dance floor, we like to say.
Chris Goldsmith has been here since 1988.
We have all the posters up that we didn't use. This is brand new. But the Belly Up started in 1974 as basically just a very narrow bar in a strip of warehouse shop. At some point very early on, they said, well, this bar is going to go belly up, in the next year or two. And so they actually then decided on the name.
Withstanding the test of time, but some things will never change.
The Belly Up Shark, which was named Toothy Roothy, but most people just call it the Belly Up Shark.
This stage hosting some of the greats in music history.
In the early days of my working here, we had a lot of legendary artists, especially in the blues world. We had Etta James played here many times, B.B. King played here, Curtis Mayfield played here. So there was a lot of great touring blues and roots music, primarily when it first started.
And we can't forget to mention a restaurant that has thrived for generations.
Everything good?
Tony's Jacal opened after World War II and serves traditional Mexican dishes. The original owners, Tony and Catalina Gonzalez, have since passed away, with the family still serving delicious meals.
Cheers, cheers.
Joe Wonkett has been coming here since 1958.
They say if it works, don't fix it. At 93, she's not going to cook anymore.
And the man behind it all, Raymond Rincon Jr.
I've worked here since I was about 10, 12 years old, so a little more than 50 years, my whole life. And as my grandparents originally, Tony was my grandfather. My mom's kind of the face of the place.
And so whether you're having some good food and drinks with friends or hanging out by the bluffs, you're sure to find some much-needed peace and a getaway at Solana Beach.
It seems a little bit hidden away at times, I think, for people, and they feel like they've found a gem about the city. I think the greatest thing about the city is that we are just a wonderful little beach town.
So much great stuff going on in Solana Beach, and truth be told, you can see some great throwback acts at the Belly Up. Next, we head down the coast to Pacific Beach, which may be San Diego's most vibrant beach town, day and night. It has the iconic and historic Crystal Pier, as well as some great spots to get a tan. CBS 8's Brian White shows us what's changed in PB over the decades and what's still the same.
Let's take a look at Pacific Beach then and now. From Mission Bay to the Pacific Ocean, Pacific Beach is an eclectic, fun-loving beach town with plenty of outdoor activities to choose from.
Really nice, couple, chest-high sets.
And whether you're at Crown Point Park or sitting atop the rolling green hills of Cape Sessions, there's no shortage of great places to take the family.
The view is just awesome from here. You could see the entire Mission Bay Park.
And whether you're biking, skating, or just walking, there's never a dull moment at the PB Boardwalk. Back in 1987, reporter Connie Healy profiled Pacific Beach on Channel 8.
This is how most of us view Pacific Beach. The people who live here may view it a little differently.
How would you describe it to somebody that's never been here before?
I don't know, paradise, I guess. It's a great place to live.
Nearly 35 years later, you'll still find people feeling the same way about PB.
You know the saying when they say living the dream? Well, we're literally doing that here.
It's a great place to live.
Hands down, the most popular person at the beach in 2021 is everyone's favorite joy-riding rollerblader and retired neurologist, Slow-Mo.
I say he's a minor celebrity. He is an icon of Pacific Beach. I think maybe I have a little crush on him, yeah.
Slow-Mo is traditional, yet he's still up and going. I think he's got it right, the key to longevity is to stay active, be out there on the boardwalk.
Over the years and decades, one landmark in PB has remained iconic. The Crystal Pier Hotel and Cottages continues to be a worldwide destination for vacationing families.
It is Pacific Beach. I mean, everything about it is, it's the focal point. It is really a nice gathering place, and so many families have come here for so long.
And right across the boardwalk, you'll find one of the most popular breakfast spots in town. Konos at the Pier has been around since 1991.
Everything is amazing.
The food's great, the vibe's cool.
This is a staple of San Diego.
Today, one of the big success stories in Pacific Beach is just how far the schools have come since the 80s. The Mission Bay cluster of schools is unique in the way that the elementary, middle, and high school levels are all connected with continuous curriculums, and the IB, or International Baccalaureate programs, which provide advanced level holistic learning for students.
I think the community really realized that at the heart of any community is great schools.
After several years of construction, Pacific Beach Middle School opened new classroom facilities this school year.
We have a brand new state-of-the-art classroom building that is designed for today's learning, and with that, our kids are more focused, more engaged.
Principal Kimberly Mang tells me that during the construction of this new building, they found something interesting.
The construction company unearthed a time capsule that was buried in 86, and it said open in 2021.
We don't know what's in it just yet, but they'll be opening it in December.
We're really excited to find out what's inside.
And if you're wondering what PB housing prices were like in 1987,
a nice 3-bedroom would go for $2.25.
That's $225,000, according to real estate agent Leonard Drake at the time. Today, in 92109, which also includes Mission Beach, the median sale price for a single-family home is about $1.7 million, according to the San Diego Association of Realtors.
Incredibly, it's just here on the beach, it's always going to be expensive.
Looking ahead, as the construction for the new trolley station nears completion, Eastern Pacific Beach near Interstate 5 will be seeing new development in the decades to come, with the higher density allowed in areas near public transit.
Here at the new and long-awaited Balboa Avenue trolley station, when it opens to the public later this month, Pacific Beach will be more connected than ever to the rest of the San Diego region. I'm Brian White for News 8.
Just a little south, Ocean Beach is known for its very laid-back vibe, eclectic character, and small mom-and-pop shops. It was an isolated spot before Interstate 8 was built and ended right in the quiet beach town right in the 1960s. Ocean Beach has changed since then, despite some resistance. CBS 8's Abby Black walks us down memory lane in OB.
When we look back at the 70s and 80s, a lot has changed in Ocean Beach, but not the people.
From the streets to the sand, you're always welcome to Ocean Beach.
Look around you. Still peace and love and happiness.
The eclectic character is the same as it's always been.
I came out here on a honeymoon and ran out of money.
Over the years, News 8 will dig up vintage video of Ocean Beach.
It's an old-fashioned department store. Been in business 54 years.
I used to knit and crochet and get all my yarn from OB and get it at Lowndes and Cornet.
Lowndes is now Creations and Trendsetters, and next door,
it's so much nicer in Ocean Beach.
There's my store.
Denny Knox used to own Cabrillo Art Center, that's now OB Surf and Skate.
And it was just like old home week all the time.
In 1978, Denny started the OB Main Street Association, where there were fewer shoppers and more parking.
Business is much stronger now than it ever was back in the 70s or 80s.
And now there's Wednesday Night Farmers Market, which started in 1992, the Drum Circle, and of course, Dog Beach.
When I was growing up, it was Peninsula Bank, which is no more, and now it's Starbucks.
The only Starbucks in OB, and it was not welcomed. OB tends to resist change. Steve Phelps moved to Ocean Beach in 1952. He's written a few books about OB and recalls protests, including the Target where Cornet used to be.
We just don't want change. We dig our heels in at every turn.
Houses are much bigger and more expensive.
I'd like to come back and visit. I could never afford to live here again.
A drive down memory lane on Newport and you'll see new storefronts.
Almost all of it is gone and changed.
Not all has changed.
A neighborhood staple since 1956.
There I am.
Greg Stavros grew up on the corner of Sunset Cliffs and West Point Loma Boulevard.
Started with the broom, worked my way up to ownership, and it's been a good life.
His dad opened Chris's Liquor and Deli in 1956, and Greg bought it in 1986.
I remember when the city made me take that sign down because it was out of code.
Down Sunset Cliffs Boulevard, you'll recognize the churches, the Shell station, gas is much more expensive today, and the Olive Tree Marketplace, which Greg's brother owns, and across the street is an old family business.
Victory Liquor, worked there for 10 years.
Down Newport, the famous smoke shop The Black, which has been in OB since 1967. Across the street, there's still a line at Hodad's, and there's also the annual quirky Christmas tree and parade. The barbershop next to the Old Townhouse restaurant is gone, but not the cafe, and neither are some of its workers.
Everything okay?
40 years later, you'll find Danny Nunez, his brother Jose, and server Sandy Shanley still serving customers just a few doors down at Margarita's family restaurant.
See, I don't pass away. I'll be here.
If there is any one thing that all of the residents agree upon who live in Ocean Beach, it is this parking lot. They don't like it. They say there are too many of what they call transients hanging around down here.
Well, the parking lot's still here, and there's still concerns about homeless and drugs going on down by the wall.
These are the good old days. There's nothing like what it is now.
The concrete pier is still there, just in disrepair, and so is its future. Where the Ferris wheel was in 1958 is now Veterans Park, that's now overrun by street vendors.
There's just no control at all down here, and it's just a free-for-all.
But OBers say not all is gone.
Obetions. Obetions?
There's still so much funk to love about Ocean Beach.
There's just something special about the magnetic field here or something.
It's always changing, yet still the same.
One thing that's consistently stayed the same: peace, love, and OB.
OB, still one of a kind. Coronado's pristine beaches were in the spotlight again this year with the new Top Gun movie. It's another of San Diego's shining gems and is also the home to the iconic Hotel del Coronado and a naval base. CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol dives into the rich history of the community built around a resort.
The beautiful drive over the iconic Coronado Bridge is like stepping back in time. The small seaside community, rich in history, has preserved its charm while giving both the tourists and residents a picturesque experience.
And we've always been active down here. There's just so many things to do. Ride bikes, go paddle boarding, go to the beach, play volleyball, play pickleball. They have great tennis courts here.
The tiny island is one of the most notable destinations on the West Coast. Home to celebrities and military leaders, Coronado means the crowned one in Spanish. gaining the nickname the Crowned City. A lot has changed and developed over the years, but many aspects stayed the same.
It has a charm that you just can't find anyplace else.
And anyone who comes here always leaves with a smile on their face. They really want to come back again.
The Coronado Bridge, completed in the late 60s, connected the little town to the rest of San Diego. The Coronado Shore Towers, built in the 70s, brought a modernized feel to the island. Construction on the ferry landing and new hotels finished up in the 80s, which grew the tourism industry even more. The naval base continues to be the largest employer on the island.
I think it's Hawaii and California.
Pristine beaches and perfect weather attract people from all over the world.
Heavenly.
And why?
It's just so beautiful and tranquil.
The vibe exudes a sense of perfection, almost like you're living in a real-life movie set. At only 32 square miles, Coronado has a small-town feel with an upscale twist. Unique and stunning architecture can be found on every corner.
People who live on the island tell me it's small enough to walk anywhere, and cars are usually optional. Hopping on a bike is how the locals get around, especially during the summer months when parking is impossible.
Everyone on Coronado has a bike. We've been here for almost 100 years, so the Hotel Del was the first business, then it was Holland's Bicycles.
A big draw to the island is the Coronado Del Hotel. When it opened in 1888, the hotel was the largest resort in the world. The iconic San Diego landmark hosted 10 U.S. presidents. Royalty, celebrities, even Hollywood made their mark here. Some Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe was filmed in the hotel and on the beaches.
It's really stood the test of time. There's been other renovations throughout its 133 years.
With the hotel's rich history, of course they have a historian on staff. Gina Petrone says the recent renovations have modernized the hotel while keeping the original charm.
The lobby has been expanded to its original size and brought in a lot more light.
The 3-year, $400 million renovation is almost complete. In 1986, News 8 profiled a story answering the question,
are the good old days gone in Coronado?
I wish we had our old sleepy Coronado.
Today, that sentiment still stands.
Now crowded.
Sandy Barkhurst has lived in Coronado since the 1st grade.
Back then, it was a Navy town with a resort hotel. Now it's a resort town, and my block where I live is hardly anybody lives there full-time. It's secondary homes.
She says the small-town charm has changed, and familiar faces are far and few between. She attributes that to the rising costs to live on the island. The median home price for sale sits at $2.6 million. But it wasn't always that way.
I won't say what my parents paid for the house.
They bought it for $25,000. Even at the high price, people will still pay to live like you're on vacation all year round. Dana Marie McNichol, News 8.
Thank you so much for watching this throwback special. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. To see more throwbacks like the ones you just saw here on CBS 8+, click on the News tab at the top of the screen. I'm Carla Chiquetto. We'll see you next time.